The 1989 USA 1-cent penny is far more than just a small, copper-colored piece of currency. It represents over a century of rich history, design evolution, and cultural significance, all wrapped up in one tiny coin. While most people would glance at it and dismiss it as just another coin to toss in their pocket change jar, there's actually a lot more to this seemingly unassuming penny than meets the eye. So, let's dive into the history, design, minting process, and the surprising collector appeal of the 1989 penny, and ultimately, we'll uncover the coin's remarkable value, which, as of today, has skyrocketed to a staggering $113,000. To understand the full story of the 1989 penny, we need to step back in time. The history of the US penny stretches all the way back to the year 1793. At that time, the US Mint was just getting off the ground, and the penny was a part of a broader effort to standardize currency in the new country. Over the years, the design of the penny has evolved many times, reflecting the changing tastes, needs, and priorities of the nation. But by 1989, the penny had undergone numerous design changes, and the design that we're most familiar with today had been in place for quite a while. The reverse of the penny, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, had been in circulation since 1959, when it replaced the previous design that featured a wheat sheaf. This design was the work of famous engraver Frank Gasparo, who created a rendition of Abraham Lincoln's memorial on the reverse side of the coin. The obverse, meanwhile, continued to feature the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which was originally designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909. The decision to use Lincoln's likeness on the penny was, in itself, a significant moment in U.S. coinage history. Lincoln, after all, was a president who had guided the nation through one of its most difficult periods, the Civil War, and his legacy was widely revered by the time 1989 rolled around. This design had been in circulation for 30 years, and although it was beloved by the American public, there were still some who felt it was time for a change. However, the 1989 penny, like most pennies from this era, still carried the familiar and reassuring design of Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The coin had been minted for decades without major alteration, and many people saw it as a symbol of stability and continuity. But what about the minting process? How did the 1989 penny come to be produced? The U.S. Mint operates several facilities across the country, but in 1989, the vast majority of pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The minting process itself is a fascinating one. Each penny begins as a thin, flat disc of metal known as a blank or planchet. These planchets are then sent through a series of presses that use high pressure to stamp both the obverse and reverse designs onto the metal. Afterward, the pennies are inspected for quality, and any defective coins are discarded. The result is a shiny, newly minted penny that's ready to be circulated. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1989 penny is that while it was widely produced and distributed, only a limited number of coins in certain conditions would go on to become highly valuable collector items. But what makes this penny so special? Is it just the age of the coin, or is there something else at play here? Well, it turns out that a variety of factors can influence a coin's value, including its rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics it may possess. For example, while the standard 1989 penny was made in large quantities, certain variations or imperfections could elevate its worth significantly. One such variation, for instance, involves the D mint mark. Pennies produced at the Denver Mint feature a D on the obverse, while those made in Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. Most 1989 pennies, however, were produced in Philadelphia, and so those without a mint mark are more common. But it's the coins with particular anomalies, such as a double die or unique die rotation, that are often sought after by collectors. These tiny errors, which may be invisible to the naked eye but can be identified under magnification, can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly coveted piece. Speaking of the 1989 penny's value, let's address the elephant in the room, the staggering figure of $113,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. As of today, a well-preserved, error-free 1989 penny could fetch up to $113,000 on the open market. So how did a coin worth just 1 cent at face value become worth so much? The answer lies in the rarity and condition of the coin, as well as the burgeoning world of coin collecting and numismatics. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in rare and valuable coins, with collectors and investors alike flocking to acquire pieces that could appreciate in value over time. Coin collectors have long been on the lookout for special editions, error coins, and particularly well-preserved examples of certain issues. The 1989 penny has become one of the most sought-after coins for collectors, particularly because of its association with the broader history of U.S. currency, its ties to President Lincoln, and the sheer rarity of the coin in pristine condition. The coin's value is also influenced by the market demand for rare pennies, which has grown as interest in numismatics has surged in recent years. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are both historically significant and in excellent condition, and the 1989 penny fits that bill perfectly. As a result, the price for a 1989 penny in top condition has skyrocketed, with some specimens commanding a price tag that most people wouldn't even imagine for a humble copper coin. But it's not just the pennies in excellent condition that are attracting attention. Even coins with minor imperfections or signs of wear are fetching higher prices than most would expect. It's important to note, however, that the vast majority of 1989 pennies are not worth anywhere near $113,000. Most of them can be found in circulation, tucked away in pockets or jars, with little to no special value beyond their face value. It's only the rare examples that have been carefully preserved, or those with a notable error or unique feature, that fetch a high price. For the average person, spotting one of these high-value coins is incredibly rare, but it's not entirely impossible. And for those who are fortunate enough to find a valuable 1989 penny, the financial reward can be substantial. So, how can you tell if your 1989 penny is worth a small fortune? First, examine the condition of the coin. A penny in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that's been battered and worn down over time. If you happen to come across a 1989 penny that looks almost brand new, that's a good sign. Next, look for any distinctive errors or unique features. As we mentioned earlier, coins with double dies or odd die rotations are highly sought after by collectors, and these errors can make a huge difference in the coin's value. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to take your coin to a professional numismatist who can help you determine its authenticity and value. So, there you have it. The 1989 USA 1-cent penny may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but its history, design, and rarity have made it one of the most interesting and valuable coins in modern U.S. currency. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who happens to stumble upon one of these rare pennies, it's clear that the 1989 penny is a coin worth keeping an eye on. With a potential value of up to $113,000, it's proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. In the end, it's a reminder that every coin, no matter how small, has its own story to tell, and that story may be worth more than you ever imagined. Journey through the world of the 1989 penny, it's worth diving deeper into the world of coin collectors and why they are so passionate about coins like this one. Numismatics, the study and collection of currency, is a field that has captivated enthusiasts for centuries. The excitement surrounding rare coins is not just about their monetary value. It's also about the connection they provide to history. Coins like the 1989 penny are more than just objects. They are tangible links to the past, pieces of history that have passed through the hands of countless individuals. For many collectors, the hunt for rare coins is an adventure. They scour coin shops, attend auctions, and search through rolls of pennies looking for that hidden gem, that one coin that could turn out to be something special. The thrill of discovery is a major part of what makes numismatics so appealing. And the 1989 penny, with its potential to be worth a small fortune, is just one example of a coin that can transform the fortunes of a collector in an instant. But the 1989 penny isn't just about the value it holds today. It's also about the role it plays in the broader history of U.S. coinage. Coins, like the penny, reflect the changing economic and political landscape of the time in which they were minted. The penny has evolved over the years to meet the needs of a growing and changing nation, and each design choice tells a story about the era it represents. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the 1989 penny, for example, is a symbol of American strength and resilience. It represents the nation's enduring commitment to freedom and unity, as well as the memory of one of its greatest leaders. And yet, despite the historical significance of the penny, it's still easy to overlook. It's easy to dismiss it as just a small, insignificant coin that we often toss aside without a second thought. But that's part of the beauty of the coin collecting world. While most people may overlook these small coins, those with a keen eye and an understanding of the rarity and significance of certain pieces can unlock a world of value, both monetary and historical. It's also worth noting that the value of the 1989 penny, like all rare coins, is influenced by market trends. The world of coin collecting is not static. It's constantly evolving. The demand for certain coins can rise and fall depending on the interests of collectors, economic conditions, and even changes in the broader cultural landscape. This means that while the 1989 penny is worth a substantial amount today, its value could fluctuate in the future. It's also important to keep in mind that while $113,000 is an impressive sum, it's not the only potential price a 1989 penny could fetch. Some coins might sell for a fraction of that amount, while others could exceed expectations. This uncertainty adds an element of excitement and unpredictability to the world of coin collecting, making it all the more intriguing. So, what does this mean for you, the viewer? If you happen to come across a 1989 penny in your pocket change or in a jar of old coins, take a moment to inspect it carefully. While it might seem like just another coin, it could be the key to unlocking a hidden treasure. And if you don't know where to start, consider reaching out to a professional numismatist or visiting a reputable coin dealer. They can help you assess the condition of your coin and determine whether it's a valuable specimen worth pursuing further. The 1989 penny serves as a reminder that, in the world of coin collecting, even the most unassuming coins can hold tremendous value. Whether you're just starting out on your coin collecting journey or you're a seasoned expert looking to add to your collection, this little penny is proof that sometimes the best treasures come in the smallest packages. As we wrap up this exploration of the 1989 USA 1-cent penny, it's important to reflect on the broader lessons this coin teaches us. It shows us that value is often hidden in the most unexpected places. It reminds us that history is not just something we read about in books, but something that lives on in the objects we encounter every day. And, perhaps most importantly, it encourages us to look a little closer, dig a little deeper, and not to judge something or someone by its size, appearance, or initial impression. In the world of numismatics, the story of the 1989 penny is far from over. As long as collectors continue to search for rare and valuable coins, as long as new discoveries are made, and as long as the coin collecting community thrives, the 1989 penny will remain an intriguing chapter in the ongoing saga of US currency. So, the next time you encounter a penny, whether it's from 1989 or another year, remember that you might just be holding on to something more valuable than you think. Who knows, your next penny could be worth more than a few cents, could be worth a small fortune. And just like that, your own coin collecting adventure could begin. The fascinating world of coins. It's important to remember that the journey of discovery never truly ends. For those of us who are passionate about numismatics, each coin, whether it's a penny from 1989 or a rare limited edition piece from a bygone era, holds its own potential story. That's what makes coin collecting so intriguing and rewarding. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of unearthing something valuable, and the sense of connection to the past all come together in the collection of rare and historic coins. Now, let's take a moment to explore why some people might be skeptical about the value of coins like the 1989 penny. After all, isn't a penny just a penny? It's small, it's common, and it doesn't seem like something that would command such a high price tag. But the world of coin collecting thrives on these kinds of surprising discoveries. What many may not realize is that the value of a coin is not solely based on its age or rarity. It's also about the story it tells, the condition it's in, and even its place in a larger historical context. For example, the 1989 penny may not be as old or as rare as some of the other famous coins out there, like the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel or the 1933 Double Eagle, but it's a coin that is nonetheless valuable because of the precise circumstances of its production and the specific errors that occurred during the minting process. Some pennies from that year have been known to feature minor, but distinct, errors that make them much rarer and more sought after than standard versions. These little flaws, such as a double die or a misaligned strike, may seem like defects to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they are highly desirable traits. The rise in the popularity of rare coins, particularly those with production errors or unusual characteristics, has led to an explosion of interest in coins like the 1989 penny. The rise of online auction platforms and digital marketplaces has opened up new opportunities for collectors and investors to buy and sell rare coins with greater ease. It's no longer just a matter of scouring your local coin shop or attending traditional coin shows. Today, rare coins can be discovered and purchased from the comfort of your own home, and this shift has made the world of coin collecting more accessible than ever before. In fact, the 1989 penny is just one example of how a relatively modest coin can reach astronomical values thanks to the internet. In the past, a coin worth $113,000 might have only been accessible to a select few collectors who had deep pockets and knew where to look. But today, thanks to the power of the internet, even average collectors have the potential to stumble upon a hidden treasure in their own collection. It's a democratization of the numismatic world, and it's one of the reasons why collecting coins has become such an exciting and ever-evolving hobby. It's also worth mentioning that, for many collectors, coin collecting isn't just about the monetary value of the pieces. The appeal lies in the history that each coin carries. Take the 1989 penny, for example. To some collectors, it represents a specific moment in U.S. history, the end of the 1980s, a period marked by significant political, economic, and cultural shifts. Coins are often like little time capsules, capturing the essence of the time in which they were minted. The 1989 penny might not have seemed extraordinary at the time of its release, but today, it offers us a glimpse into the past and serves as a reminder of how far the nation has come since then. Beyond the history and the value, there's also the connection that coin collectors feel to one another. Coin collecting is a community. Whether you're attending coin shows, participating in online forums, or simply trading coins with fellow enthusiasts, there's a sense of camaraderie that comes with being part of the coin collecting world. Sharing knowledge, finding new treasures, and celebrating rare discoveries together is a large part of what makes this hobby so rewarding. Of course, there are other practical reasons why rare coins like the 1989 penny can fetch such high prices. Over time, certain coins become more and more difficult to find, especially as the years go by and fewer examples remain in circulation. As people collect, trade, and even hoard rare coins, they slowly disappear from public view, making them even more desirable to those who are in the know. The rarer a coin becomes, the higher its demand, and the higher the price it can command. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Simply put, it's a reminder that even the smallest, seemingly insignificant objects can hold enormous value, both in terms of money and history. The 1989 penny is a prime example of how something as simple as a coin can turn out to be worth far more than its face value. And that's what makes numismatics so fascinating. It's not just about collecting coins for the sake of owning them. It's about uncovering hidden treasures, preserving pieces of history, and being part of a global community of like-minded collectors. As we finish up our deep dive into the 1989 penny, remember that the world of coin collecting is vast and full of surprises. Whether you're a seasoned collector with decades of experience or a newcomer just starting to explore the hobby, there's always something new to learn, something new to discover, and perhaps even a hidden gem waiting to be found. The value of a coin isn't always immediately apparent, but with the right knowledge, a little patience, and perhaps a touch of luck, you could be the next one to stumble upon a coin worth a small fortune. The 1989 penny is proof that sometimes what appears to be the most ordinary of things can hold extraordinary value. It's a coin that has stood the test of time, captured the imagination of collectors, and continues to hold a special place in the world of numismatics. So, the next time you come across a penny, whether it's from 1989 or any other year, take a moment to appreciate its history, its design, and its potential. Because in the world of rare coins, even a humble penny can be a key to unlocking a treasure trove of possibilities.